Joining us now, Chairman of the Republican National Committee, Michael Whatley. Chairman, it's a pleasure. Good to see you today.
It's good to be with you guys.
So I think in the words of Ted Cruz, you can be left all day if you want. You can't have taxpayer money, though, if that's how you want to behave. And so that's what they're correcting now.
No question about it. And look, when we talk about eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse, you may not say that this is fraud or abuse, but it's certainly waste. The fact is the American taxpayers do not need to be funding these liberal stations that are going out there every single day with an agenda and performing, duties for the Democratic Party.
Which clearly there was.
Yeah, that's right. Chairman, do you believe that the House will move ahead and pass this and get it to the president's desk?
They need to. And I fully believe that they have the votes. That's what the speaker said. So I would expect that they'll go ahead and get this done and move it over.
Let's talk about some of the other cuts in this rescissions package here. We have a graphic. We want to bring that up right now. $500,000 for electric buses in Rwanda. $500,000 for Peruvian biodiversity. $3 million for the Iraqi Sesame Street. That's a famous one. $18 million to improve gender diversity in the Mexican street light industry. I'm sorry. That is comical.
Does not seem to be a priority for American taxpayers,
It doesn't.
Right?
It seems disrespectful to Americans. We have so many needs here at home, so many communities all across the country, inner city, rural, to divvy out our tax money for stuff like that. I think it's gross.
President Trump ran on a very simple formula in the last election cycle. We are going to rebuild the economy so that it works for every community and every family. We are going to restore the southern border, and we're going to make sure that America is the strongest country in the world. Right? The things that you just laid out do nothing towards that agenda. They do not help every community. They do not help every family. Therefore, we do not need to be supporting those with taxpayer dollars.
Exactly. And of course, we know, though, Democrats not happy about this. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer posted this on X about the rescissions. Quote, the Republicans are trying to slash access to NPR, PBS, the local news so many Americans rely on for severe weather alerts. After everything we saw with the devastating tragedy in Texas, this couldn't come at a worse time. Democrats are fighting to stop it. I know that we had a guest on yesterday who also shared that in Texas, their public broadcast actually didn't say anything about the Texas flooding for, I believe it was maybe more than 8 hours, maybe 10 hours. So something tells me that might not be accurate.
There's never been a dollar that the Democrats did not want to tax and spend on anything. They have opposed across the line every single spending cut that has been proposed. They voted against the big, beautiful bill, which had $1.6 trillion in spending cuts. Every single Democrat in the House, every single Democrat in the Senate. And then they turn around and vote absolutely lockstep on this particular bill. The Democrats are going to want to spend every single dollar that they can get their hand on, whether it is going to help America succeed or not.
Chairman, I think the voters for the Republican Party right now, I think they should be pretty proud of the accomplishments thus far. A ton of work has gotten done in 6 months, and this is further proof of that in tackling things that maybe some other administrations wouldn't want to touch, like the NPR PBS thing, but President Trump is forging ahead with that.
He really is, and it's 6 months of delivering every single day for the American voters and delivering on the agenda. This ultimately is promises made, promises kept by the president, but also by the House and by the Senate. So, yeah, I think that Republicans should definitely be in a good place. They should definitely be proud, but we have a lot more work to do. And I think that that's the thing that you're going to see is that President Trump is not going to take a pat on the back and a victory lap. What he's going to do is show up tomorrow and work hard. And then he's going to show up the next day and deliver every day for the American people. That's what the voters elected him to do, and that's what he's going to be doing every single day.
Yeah, and Chairman, we know that he also doesn't sleep much. So he's working when a lot of the rest of us are doing that normal thing where we close our eyes for as many hours as we can get. You have also described this presidency, this term for President Trump as the most transformative term of any president since Ronald Reagan. As you said, there's a lot more work to do. But what made you describe it that way?
Well, look, I think the conversation that I had with the president during the campaign when we talked about this for the first time was recognizing that Ronald Reagan had a truly transformative term. He was dealing with Russia, Iran, China, and inflation, which are all the same issues that President Trump was going to inherit when he came into office. But President Reagan didn't have a playbook. And President Trump has a playbook. He had been in office before. He knew the deep state. He knew the swamp. He knew what the Democrats were going to do. He knew what the media was going to be like. And he also had the success of a vision, knowing that he could take America and the world in a different direction. That ultimately was the conversation. But you see it living out every single day, that he is delivering every single day. It is all about restoring this economy, restoring the southern border, restoring our standing in the world, and making sure that America is going to be that bright light on a hill, that, the shining light on a hill for every single country. We're going to be the leaders of the free world, and we're going to do better for every one of our kids and every one of our communities.
I know something else you're talking about a lot, the auto pen, and the potential scandal there. What are your thoughts about that? And the fact that the White House has opened up their own independent investigation outside of the House there.
Yeah, look, I think it's very important to know who was making these decisions and who was executing these decisions, right? We can talk about having an auto pen, in a House or a Senate office or even in the White House for perfunctory matters. That's fine, right? But who's making the decisions behind them? Was the president even informed on these decisions? He even said, I didn't know all the details. Well, you know what? When you're putting your signature
details
on something,
matter.
You need to know those details. And so this is a scandal of epic proportions.
Yeah.
And I really think it's good that the White House is investigating it. I think that Chairman Comer and the House investigation is tremendously important. We need to know who was making those decisions and how were they being executed.
Yeah, this is certainly the administration of transparency in as many ways as possible. And again, hopefully they'll be able to shed some light on what actually happened. Chairman Whatley, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's good to be with you today.
Pleasure.
Come back
Good to see you.